Hello to you all. Today I'd like to deal with the question of whether we are allowed to play poker for money. The Mishnah in Sanhedrin tells us that a gambler his testimony is invalid. He cannot be a witness. He's not a trustworthy person that would be allowed to give witness. Asks the Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin, why? The Gemara has two answers. The first answer is that he's a thief. Why is he a thief? Because gambling is what's called an asmachta. An asmachta means that a condition was made that is dependent on the future. If something happens in the future, then I will obligate myself, which is what gambling is. I look at my cards, I say, if my cards are better than your cards, then you will pay me, and if they're not, I will pay you. So it's a condition that's dependent on something that's going to happen in the future. And only then will there be an actual contractual act. But right now there is nothing. There's just my words because we don't know what's happened yet. Such a condition, says the Gemara and his Paskin the Halacha, is what's called an asmachta, and it's not valid because we presume that the person who made it, seeing as it's going to be dependent on future events, didn't really intend to obligate himself because he thought that it would turn out in his favor. Therefore, if he were to take the money that he has won, he's going to be actually stealing from the other guy because the other guy is not willingly giving it over. And therefore, it would be a form of theft. And that, says the Gemara, is why our gambler is not allowed to be a witness because he's a thief. Because the condition that you're doing when gambling is what's called an asmachta, and that is theft if you take the money because he doesn't want to pay you. He never intended to pay you. Then the Gemara gives a different opinion. It says, no, hang on a sec, it could be that this isn't an asmachta. Why would it not be an asmachta? Because really, whenever you're playing poker, you know you're not going to win every hand. You know that you're going to have to lose a few hands in order to win in the long run, and that's really what you want to do, to win in the long run. And therefore, when you lose some small hands, you do give up the money willingly, and therefore it's not considered as theft on behalf of the person who won from you. But if so, why should a gambler not be allowed to be a witness? He's not a thief, we're just explaining right now. The answer is, says the Gemara, is because this guy who spends all his time gambling in casinos, he doesn't understand the value of money. He doesn't know what it means to work hard to earn your living. And such a person, if you just slip him 1,000 quid or $1,000, he'll do anything you like. Someone like that we can't trust, and that's why we can never accept their testimony. What's the difference between these two answers? The difference is, if the person is not a professional gambler, but he's someone who has a 9-to-5 job all week long, he's working and earning his living honestly, but he likes on a Thursday night to go out with the guys and play poker. Someone like that, he does understand the value of money. He does understand what it is to work a hard day's work. And you can't say that we can expect him to lie. So someone like that would be trusted. And his testimony would be accepted. And the only testimony that wouldn't be accepted is that of a professional gambler, that all his life is gambling. The halacha is ruled like this second opinion, that gambling is not an asmachta. Gambling is your money when you win. But if someone's a professional gambler, then we can't trust them. And that's certainly how the Ramah paskins, that even though playing poker is not necessarily the right thing for a nice Jewish boy to be doing all the time, but nevertheless, if people are doing it, leave them to do it, says the Ramah. Leave them to do it, you don't make a fuss about it. The Shulchan Aruch rules like the Rambam, and it does seem to be that there is a hint in the words of the Rambam that there is a type of what's called avak gezel, a type of smacking of thievery in money that someone's won through gambling, and it would seem from the Rambam that you should not gamble for money. However, it's not clear. There's a contradiction in the words of the Rambam. There's a lot written about this subject. We don't have time to go into it now. The opinion of the Ramah, though, is that gambling is not stealing. You are allowed to gamble for money, but maybe it's not the best pastime that you could choose for yourself. Thank you.